All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Berserk, episode 23. Okay.
All right.
So Guts and the Band of the Hawk, what remains of them, have rescued Griffith.
Yep.
They're on their way away.
Right.
They're just trying to get away, basically.
Yep.
The main problem right now is that they are being hunted by cavalry and probably going to have to fight them because at the very least they've got Griffith,
right?
So Griffith is their liability, but also their objective. So Guts,
do your thing.
You need to do your thing. Yeah,
go Berserk.
You oh boy. But guys, like this is where like we have that classic classic episode before kind of the finale kind of thing. Like this is going to be like where the whole the day, like this is coming, because we have the Behelit out there being all fatalistic and like all that, and then we have Zod's prophecy or whatever. Right. We have the great eclipse coming.
Well, and the whole deal with the Rickert, bye-bye.
Yes, so there is a huge percentage of the Band of the Hawk that's just gone. Dead, mutilated, something bad.
Juju.
And the question is this going to end in some kind of climactic throwdown of like the Band of the Hawk and like Griffith fighting against the fate of like this like
the armies of Midland
entity
against like the demon things, whatever, and they're just sort of going around in the middle.
Or another way to look at this is, let's say these cavalry charging with them end up being used as a proper distraction because things just go really bad all of a sudden.
Meat shields.
And then all these cavalry running in, they're just like, what is going on? And then it's just chaos. And you have like Guts, and he's just like with Casca, and they've got like Griffith being like cradled by judo or something, and then they're just like, kill them all, don't let them touch Griffith, and just killing just tons of stuff. I'm ready for some blood. I'm ready for some carnage. The scary thing, though, is that we have the first episode to keep in context here.
We do.
Things are not going to go perfectly,
right? To
say the least. Yeah. And I'm really worried about Griffith, because we were talking about this before the episode. It's like Griffith's heart is like there's a scale that's like does his sanity or his heart win out, or either, or
right.
It's all up in the air right now. Like this is basically a thing of, is Griffith able to pull himself out of this darkness?
Does he need someone else?
Yes, to need someone else to pull him out of this darkness? And will these beings from the beyond, from above,
from
or
Cthulhu
whatever,
land or wherever,
are they going to continue to with Griffith's mind?
Right.
I really feel like this is going to be a tug of war on Griffith. Like once all of this is said and done, it's going to be a tug of war, and unfortunately Griffith is
he's not a sturdy rope right now.
He is not a sturdy rope right now. He is one strand, and it doesn't really matter who's pulling. He's going to break, and I feel like his sanity is just enough there for him to like make choices and stuff right now, like based on the kind of the internal monologue which we got last episode, which was so good. If we get more of that, I'm really excited, because I feel like Griffith has been one that we've observed from afar without actually getting inside the man and understanding how he sees all this, how he perceives all of this. We had that moment with the river and Casca, but again, that wasn't his internal stuff.
Right.
So it was more from Casca's perspective. So, guys, looking forward to some good stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it. Kono sekai ni wa skunerun skasadun nangdena choiskete da deets. So this narrator sounds exactly like the being from the beyond that was speaking to Griffith when he was in the prison. So looking forward to seeing if he's kind of the primary antagonist. Oh crap, it's even worse. They're in a wagon, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely gonna get caught now. Oh, okay. Guts, get to the back of the formation and just swing that sword. Put your glasses on.
Right around, baby, right around.
Did you just like spoil me on one of the outtakes, basically? Like
no.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that song was like even
around at the time. That's a good point. Were the outtakes made like right after this came out, or was it like a
no? It was when
later?
they did the English dub for this, so it was probably like
2000
to like max. I would say like 2003.
Funimation did the dub.
No, it was actually. Or wait. No, yeah. I'm not sure. I think Funimation did the dub. I don't know.
Well, I mean, once I finish this, I'm probably just gonna watch it on my own time in the dub. Like, I really liked. I think what was it? It was like back around episode 7 or 8. I went and rewatched the first episode and like a bit of the second episode in the dub, and I was like, it was pretty good.
Funny thing, the studio that did this show also did Pokemon.
Yep. Okay. Good to know. Eve of the Feast. Now it doesn't matter where Guts is. They're going to be screwed. Jeez. Oh, sweet! Corcus!
Yeah.
Well done!
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh! It's a trap!
You should have known better.
But the problem is that there's the other group that went ahead, so they will annihilate this half, but... Oh! Was that Pippin?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah.
I was like a stab punch, basically.
Yep.
Crap, guys. Oh, man. Wow. Jeez. You talk too much. Die, you bastard. Oh, that shot. That shot.
Yeah.
Oh, this could be it. This could be what pulls him back.
One hand. Yeah.
The blood flows. Oh my gosh. Oh, Griffith. Oh.
Yeah.
なあ、マジなのかよ。ダメだよな。あの野郎が言ってたこと。いいよ、本人に聞く。無理だよ。俺ってお前。
Yeah.
グリフィスには答えることはできない。冗談だろ。牢獄暮らしで喉が荒れちまったとかさ。
Oh, Corcus. Yeah. No, they went to town on Griffith.
Yep.
なんだそりゃよ。
Oh.
これからじゃなかったのか。
Oh, Corcus. This is the one time I feel for him, like, a lot. Who knows? This is true. Oh, that's good, Judo, yeah. Oh.
時間をくれないか。
おい待てよ。考えるってお前どうするつもりなんだよ。
お前さっき何言おうとしたんだ。
自分で挑んだ戦いの蹴り自分でつけろってさ。
強いな。自分で挑んだないこともあるだろう。みんな弱いんだ。弱いから人や夢にすがってる。優しい言葉をかけることも厳しい知ったも。
We're human. We need those kinds of things.
誰かにそばにいてほしかった。
Oh, no way. Is this just making it worse? Jeez. That's a great description of what this is, yeah.
また武者修行か。
お前は
そうだな。居残った連中誘って盗賊でも始めるか。そうすりゃグリフィス一人ぐらい面倒見られるだろう。
だったら俺も
And you have
立ち上がれ
Casca
ない
now.
やつは捨てていけ。
Yeah, the way Judo said,
で
I'll
も
leave
そ
them.
れはそれ。
Yep.
今度こそキャスカ
Yeah,
ついてく
yeah,
る。
yeah. I knew he was gonna say that.
あいつは盗賊の頭やるには真面目すぎる。これ盗賊なんてやだね。
No thanks, not for me.
今度こそ無理やりにでも。
隊長、あん時みたいに一人でフラッと行っちまうつもりですかい？入り込み隊全員で決めたんです。隊長さえいてくれりゃなんとかなります。俺たち隊長お願いします。隊長
Oh.
Yeah.
俺の居場所とあったのかもしれないな。
Yeah.
気がつかなかったけど、あの頃の俺が一番欲しかった。どうしていつもなくしてから気がつくんだ。
That's just life, dude. That's real life.
Yeah.
You never know what you have until it's gone.
何度も何度も私を救ってくれた。今度は私がそうしなくちゃいけない。
Okay.
Yeah.
代わりの毛布持ってく。グリフィスやめ。
What the heck? I have no idea what that expression meant, but I'm glad that they're, at the very least, having some form of a connection. I just don't think Griffith's mind is in a good place right now.
グリフィスはどうかしたのか？
何でも。
おい、なんだよ。
違うんだ。何でもない。
なんでもないのに泣くのかい？
やめて。違うんだ。ごめん。
Oh.
いけない。お前といけない。
She owes so
あんな
much
に
to
小さく
him.
なってあの誇り高いグリフィス、今のグリフィスを置いてなんていけない。
Wow.
ごめん。
俺も
分の戦いをするんだろう。お前は行かなくちゃ。お前がグリフィンとの友達なら行かなくちゃ。
Yeah, because they heard the...
一人でも行かなくちゃ。
They're killing me with his eyes. Like,
Yeah.
hallucinating, dream, Casca? Oh, it's him.
Yeah.
Oh.
こんなところで何を怯えている？
Whoa. So is this basically a visual representation of his dream being the one thing that he can like hold on to, like his youth, his ideal self, and that's like his innocence and his like he didn't have the dream at that age.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the insight I always wanted.
This episode hits me so hard every time.
グリフィス、
そんなどうやって？
お前はみんなに知らせてくれ。
I don't like this. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
少し休みすぎた。
Okay, okay.
もう行かなくち
Okay,
ゃ。
okay. Wait,
あ
he
の
doesn't
路地
want
裏
to
の石
die.
畳は。
Oh, no, 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 no.
グリフィス？
Oh, he's out. Yeah, he's out.
お食事よ。あら、眠ってたの？ごめんなさい。また昔の夢でも見てたんでしょう。
This doesn't feel like
あの人はまだどこかで剣を。
possible future.
こらガッツ！ピピンをいじめるんじゃないの。手洗っといで。はい母ちゃん。私の方が
Are
向い
those
てるわ。
kids
あなたと
that
あ
they
の
named
子と
Pippin and
3人の
Guts?
暮らしの方が。
Or at least a kid named Guts and maybe like an animal named Pippin.
Oh, no, 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 no. No, no. No, his mind is being screwed with.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just snapped. Yeah. Oh, is he gonna...
The helmet forced it to the side.
Yeah. Wow, laying a man low. Holy crap. Oh my freaking god. Of course it is. Of course it is.
It came out in the river.
Whoa, what a shot. What a shot.
Yep. Yep.
持つ者は自分の血と肉と引き換えに世界を手に入れる定め。
Whoa, whoa. That's new. That's new.
血と肉を引き換えをそんなにしちまったのこの俺なのか
Wait,
どう
crap.
すればいい
Is it
どうし
getting
てほしい
night or...
俺に何ができるおい
Yep, the eclipse is starting. Crap.
ショック
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. He's here. Freaking Behelit's here.
クルラ
Why? Oh my god. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. No, here comes the tug of war. Here it comes. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. They're just there. They just blinked and they're there.
なんだ
Yeah,
ありゃ
yeah.
What the hell indeed?
わからねえ荒木やばいもんだ
Oh.
今お前に肩を掴まれたら俺は二度とお前を
Oh, they're teasing me now.
グリフィス
Oh, no, 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 no. It's gonna make a face, isn't it? It's gonna make a face. Yep, 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 yep. Oh! 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 Oh my god. Oh my god. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. 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 So,
Okay. So,
I love how it shows these pictures still as the ending. Like,
okay. So, Griffith doesn't want them to get hurt, and he can like feel that this is coming. Like this is like his like attuning to fate and realizing that like ever since he got the Behelit, like this was his dark side of his destiny. And now he's like, no, not you guys, no, like stay away. So we're just gonna have a fight. We're gonna have a big nasty fight, and oh crap. On a funny note, the Behelit didn't go bleh or anything.
yeah, it didn't eat him, you know?
No, it just obviously went from Picasso
Right.
to realistic style and stuff.
A while ago, in an unboxing, someone sent something in.
Oh,
Pyro
that's what you've been
Phoenix.
holding
Yeah.
down there.
Hey Jacob, give this to Caleb when the time is right. I hope it has a good, as good of a reaction as I think it would. From Pyro Phoenix.
Oh, it's my Behelit getting upgraded.
Its true form.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah.
Oh,
So why don't we switch these out?
I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
But yeah.
I'll just kind of wear it in addition. I reject the idea that everything has gone to shit. Like,
Gotcha.
Guts has to live.
That's true. That's true.
But,
Well, and
guys,
hey, he is very good at killing
hey,
things.
if I lean down here, it's out of frame. Suck it. Guys, like, I'm trying to find humor right now to keep me positive right here. But, like, this is going to be one of those shows that, like, literally, this is a butt clencher, right? Otherwise, like you don't turn your back on Berserk. Otherwise, you're about to get yeah, you're about to have something happen. Yeah. I'm not gonna say it on camera.
But so
jeez.
yeah.
So basically, the big thing that they've set up here. And this is what's crazy, is because I feel like I am holding on to some semblance of sanity, because there's hope in that Griffith is alive in the first episode. Guts is alive
in the first
episode. But what it is that they're separated.
Right.
There was a schism of sorts. And it looks like this is going to be more of the thing where, like, Griffith is going to be an even bigger damsel in distress. Where, like...
Oh, sure.
Like, he's going to get taken. Like, this is not going to end well. Like, this is going to be the kind of thing where, like Guts is going to be, like, in this weird place of where... Like, the Band of the Hawk is going to have to, like, disband, run away, retreat, and just flee. Because once the monster demon things showed up, I was like, oh boy. Yeah. But I was like, this is still solvable.
Right.
This is still
we can
doable. We can work with this.
This combat is our speciality.
But the minute this thing, this ritualistic event or whatever...
Yep.
turned reality inside out and turned it all into this, like, array of Behilits. I'm like, well, no, you run. You don't do anything else, you run. The problem is...
Where do they run to?
Well, no, you just run away. But,
sure.
Like, the demon things are localized in that area, for now, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who knows what's going on? We don't know if this is like a... kind of an FMAB thing where the shadow cast by the solar eclipse puts... like a portal to where all the things can come into this circle, and then like outside of it,
sure, they just need to get outside of the exact like solar eclipse.
Yeah, which is probably huge.
Sure,
but I'm
but
guessing,
it can also be over quickly.
Right. But I'm guessing that like those things are not anywhere near as strong as Zod, and as far as like them just running away. Just run away. And
that's a good plan.
Hope you don't like obviously these things are here for Griffith. Like they're obviously here for him.
Right.
The little like demon little red fetus things were like, oh Prince, yes. You are the chosen one, yes. And it's like, okay. So Griffith is going to be either sacrificed in some way, because the new information we got about the Behelit was that the wielder of the Behelit, or they said the owner, I think, will sacrifice their flesh and blood to basically stand atop the world or rule the world or something. What did they say exactly? They said basically...
Was that this episode?
That was this episode. That was at the very, very end,
when there was
where there was that little kind of weird dream trippy flashback bit,
thing,
and Griffith had actual flashbacks interspersed with like trippy stuff.
I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't paying attention fully to the details of what was happening, because I was just like, I love this whole sequence, this whole scene, this episode and everything, because of just well, again, it's a time where you have a character that doesn't talk, right? And it allows...
There's a lot of story being communicated.
There's a lot of story being communicated, a lot of showing rather than telling.
For sure.
And a lot of sort of up to the imagination of the viewer, because you don't know exactly... Like even when they were in Griffith's head, right? And he said, don't touch me. I'll never be able to... You. Yeah,
that's so it's such a tease.
It's like, is that like he'll never be able to be equal with you? Like he'll never be able to forgive you. He'll never be able to.
No idea. No idea.
Yeah.
Like the thing that they did with Griffith here was really, really like eerie, because there were multiple kind of sequence of things where he seemed to be just off. First one was when he sees. Casca and Guts, that's the second time he's seen them kind of embracing each other and being kind of intimate, and he has his like hawk's eye going like and it's like, okay, so he is jealous, he is feeling betrayed, okay, I could see that, but then he also has these other moments where he feels more like he's turning on himself internally a bit, and that little bit where he looked at his epitome
of himself
being the White Knight and stuff, and he'd be like, what are you doing here? And then also seeing his child self running towards the castle on the hill, basically, and having that kind of duality of where he's realizing he's not he can never return to his ultimate self, essentially. He can never return back to his childhood, but in between all that, there's the dream still, and can he still have that? And I think at the very least he knows that those two people could have it, but they don't exist anymore. So who is he, and where does he fit in between those two?
Right. The whole idea of him and Casca living happily together. Like him and Casca just living happily together, and basically him healing and everything and all that stuff. And even though he's never the same, he's still able to to live and have a like you said, he's like that does seem like, what was it? This is kind of nice. Like when he's sitting down in the chair,
Who?
Griffith in the dream when he's at the cottage with Casca.
I don't think he really remarks much of anything about it.
It was something.
He didn't say anything positive about this whole thing.
He did, but I can't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't like this is the most amazing thing ever or anything like that. But
no.
But I just
He was more of like, where am I? Where is this? What
there was later, but
okay. But when they had that bit where he's suddenly like in the water, and he's like with the shot with the sun about to be eclipsed and stuff, and then he sees that little spike of wood or rock or something. I think it was wood, and he just goes up to it and he tries to
fall on it, but he can't even do that.
That was the moment. Well, actually, even before that happened, he breaks into this cry laugh haunting thing, and because he has no tongue, it's like and it's like, oh buddy, like,
when people say to break your characters,
look to this as an example, why don't you? Yes, we see the great knight in shining armor laid freaking low.
Yeah, it's
so low.
It's straight up like the whole Fate Zero thing, but take terror and just replace it with like where you're at in life, going from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows.
Once the Behelit showed up,
and it was like already like around his fingers, like
I was like, okay, this is disgusting. Because there's been this whole theme of free will and fate and stuff, and Griffith, I feel like, subconsciously knew that he couldn't escape his fate, but he
tried anyway.
But I feel like what he did was he tried to choose a different fate, and he basically said, I will make this cobblestone path, and I will just keep running on it, and eventually I will be a king. I will be I will be one who rules. And it's like, well, you might,
but you got pretty damn close.
But you're going to basically, you're going to experience some horrible things before you get to that. So my thing,
if he can ever get to it now.
My thing I'm most worried about right now is if we kind of look at episode 1 as context. Stuff, there's there's no Band of the Hawk or anything like that. So they're disbanded, destroyed, or just whatever. So that if that's coming up, I'm gonna be pissed. But like I have a guts feeling, exactly, that Guts is going to be the one that kind of throws a wrench in things. Like things aren't going to go perfectly for Zod and his people and stuff. They're called apostles, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So their whole thing is they've been like, oh yes, the stars align, the planets in coordination, and now the eclipse, and now we will be there. And it's like, okay, you've got that far and stuff, but Guts seems to be this character who's by design put into these important locations just to
wreck
swing
things.
his sword and wreck stuff. So I think he's going to be successful enough to live,
right?
And he's going to be unsuccessful enough to where he's going to be so screwed over when this thing is over. Because when we see him in episode 1, he's broken. He's not necessarily...
He's haunted, literally.
Yes, he's not necessarily, like, irreparably broken like Griffith is. He's haunted, exactly. And that kind of aspect of this is like, okay, the world was plunged into darkness or something, and things changed, and
somehow Griffith's king.
Yeah, and we have a serpent monstrosity thing going around and stuff, and Guts kills it in a badass way and stuff.
Right.
But I feel like more and more that's going to be kind of a time skip thing.
Gotcha. Because they only have 2 episodes left.
Yeah, exactly. So we're kind of approaching more or less like a transition into the like the dark stuff of Berserk. Like basically that like this is basically what like the anime has basically revealed itself, that it's like, hey, get ready, because things are about to change. But if you want to continue this story, read the manga, because like, you know, that. So
right.
I feel like I'm going to be happy in that it's going to be the most just intense like next 2 episodes. But I feel like I need to like cover my backside, otherwise I am going to experience a lot of pain. Because the person who I most care about, their happy ending in all of this, is not Guts. It's Casca. And the thing is that Casca is completely up in the air. There's literally nothing.
She was conveniently not shown in the first episode.
She is conveniently not shown. I really care about Pippin, Judeau, and even Corcus and stuff.
Okay.
But can we talk about how casually Rickert is just gone?
Yeah.
Rickert is gone.
Yep. The kid.
He is dead.
Yeah.
The kid, the baby, basically, of the Band of the Hawk. He's dead. So, Judeau, Pippin, and Corcus, and all them, I hope that, like, some of them have enough, like, survival instincts that kicks in that they just scatter.
Stick near Guts, and just, like...
No, like, Guts...
Just run.
Guts is going to be swinging his sword...
In the middle of a lot of...
You don't want to be in a 20-foot radius of Guts unless you're Griffith. Like, I even am worried for Casca at this point, because I feel like when Guts was shown in this episode cradling Griffith, he's just swinging
awesome.
with one hand, killing them, and I'm just like... Oh, that's so good. And then I realized once this whole thing happened, I'm like, oh crap, that's foreshadowing. That's not even like long-term foreshadowing. That's like, this is about to happen. Guts is the closest one to Griffith. He is going to be in the water. And there's going to be like I hope they bleed like black or something like that. But he's going to run the water black with like nasty just ghoul monster blood or whatever.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any water right now.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because the land just terraformed into Behelit because dark magic and voodoo bullcrap.
But like, all right,
wonderful.
All right. I feel like now I can actually like really talk about Berserk because like a lot of like, okay, I wouldn't be able to talk as much about like the way that they have the magic be like this subtle sort of background thing.
Okay.
Before as much because it's a subtle background thing. But like the fact that they have something crazy like this happen, and one, they haven't done anything like this before, really.
No.
Two, it's something that's by its very nature not something to be understood.
Yes.
Right? It's very mythical. There's no power system to it, right? It is very otherworldly and just everything. The only thing that seems to be some sort of mechanical whatever is that the Behelit opened up or whatever, did its thing when it was in blood and there was an eclipse.
Oh, I didn't even catch the blood thing.
Yeah, some Griffith's blood. It was like it was sitting in like a pool of his blood in his hand. Yeah.
Oh, well, I know it bled.
Yeah, it like cried blood.
Its eyes. Yeah. So I was like, ugh. I mean, there's a lot of things in here that I think I don't want to look at it. The moment where Griffith has his shot where he's like holding it, comes down,
and then the eclipse in the background,
that was the moment there where I actually felt something really sick in my gut, because Griffith had just had his moment of like like sanity breaking. Like he had just broken, and then the thing showed up. So I was like, the timing of it was so like, disgustingly methodical. To where I almost think like this whole thing is basically predestined. The whole thing of that. There was a lot of journey and chaos to get here, but the sick thing is it feels like the story is being like metagamed. And I love that. Like, we essentially knew that was going to be a theme throughout the story, but now it feels like a plot point. And when he did that little look at it, it was like, that image, that was always going to happen. Where, and this is where I want to put things into context here, because I feel like this is crazy. I feel like this is something that, because Griffith as a character is one that I feel like he's the most interesting character in the whole story, just as far as
contradictions,
just all the things going on. And now that he's in this moment, I'm trying to see if I can like actually get inside his head, and I feel like you can boil it down to a very simple thing. He feels alone. There's no like there's no definites on a whole lot of other things. He's obviously breaking internally. He's obviously afraid. He's scared. Like he has all these emotions too. Exactly. But the main thing I think going through him right now is he feels alone, and Guts rushing in to invade his loneliness basically was this moment where he realized that he had basically already surrendered to it, and if he had anyone else come in there, it would be some kind of a violation. And this is the thing though, when he looked at the Behelit, I got this like sick thing feeling in the back of my mind that Griffith was like, well, at least I have you. And I was you haven't left me at least. You always come back. Kind of this thing of like, you just keep protecting me, don't you? And now here's the thing, guys. We don't know, like, if there's going to be something that, like, changes in the overall design of the devils that will descend and all of them. There were the 4 things that were, like, in the crevice of the wall or whatever. There was, like, the, like, Medusa, whatever thing. And there was one that was, like, really small. And then there was 2 others. I don't remember what they looked like. But their whole thing, I feel like, is going to be, like deviated just a little bit by Guts' presence. It's kind of the thing of like, I feel like this is a theme thing, is that Guts is the variable that no one could have predicted how powerful they were in the story. Griffith sees a mercenary one day, and he's like, that's a good guy. He looks like he's got a good sword hand on him, a good sword arm. Let's bring him in and stuff. And he just changes everything by being who he is, by being almost the most simple character in the story.
And it's that thing of will versus fate.
Well, I don't know how to interpret it perfectly because I don't have like context and stuff. Because I feel like we're about to go like Silmarillion. Like, we're about to go, like, bad Silmarillion.
Where, like, the Balrogs and the dragons show up.
Like, this episode was about hopes being dashed aside, and then, well, at least we have each other being the... and then hopes being like, no, it's all dead. Like, it's dead. Like, it's actually dead. Hope is gone. Save yourselves.
I feel like this needs
SOS, like literally, like save yourselves, save our souls, like get GTFO, like run. And then people will survive. People will survive. But like, but the thing is that Griffith is gone. And it's he's not gone yet. That's the thing. I know he's going to be gone. He has to be. Like this is how it's going to be so horrible. Is that Griffith is probably going to be used in some way. In the same way as that he's been used kind of this whole story by beings that he doesn't understand. And the thing is I feel like Guts in the beginning, the reason why he is haunted and broken and alone is that his mission is basically to free Griffith from like these things' control, and he's basically just like, I have to kill him. I have to. I don't remember exactly the tone of voice he used when he was like, I'm going to go kill Griffith and stuff, but I feel like it wasn't a one-note emotion. It wasn't like vengeance, and it wasn't like just like, oh, this is something I have to do. It was like a storm of just like
all sorts of different things.
Right. Just kind of almost an angst kind of thing where you're not supposed to understand the emotion. You just know that it's coming from a place of brokenness and hurt, you know. So, you know, who knows exactly? But I feel like right now the sick thing is that we're going to realize that like Griffith probably could have saved himself a whole lot of suffering and everything if that stupid helmet wasn't on and he could have actually killed himself. Like that's how dark. That's how dark I feel like this is going to get. Is that like, oh my god, like if anyone had just like,
if
like given him a knife,
if
left a knife in the wagon, or something.
If Guts had been a little bit too slow and the captain dude, you know, had just slit his throat. You know?
Jeez. I got to give a shout out to the moments between Casca and Guts.
Oh yeah,
they were
really good.
They were very like well written, I think, for the context of what was going on. Casca was trying to basically give the group hope, and then she leaves that area and is like, "Please give me something, Guts. What were you gonna say? Like, do you have anything? Because I'm just spitballing here. I have no idea what I'm doing." And he's just like, you know, what is he? He actually gives a pretty good line, and she's like, "Wow, that's how strong you are." Is that it was about having a fight of your own choosing, or deciding basically where you're gonna die or where you're going to. I don't know exactly.
I don't think it was where you were. It wasn't
gonna die. It was like it was basically like make it be a fight of your own choosing. I guess. And I didn't really get in the context what it meant with regards to Guts. But I think it was him, like, can you...
Yeah, like, I feel like it could be something where he was, one, potentially talking to Casca of saying, hey, don't do this because you feel you have to.
Right, because choose your battles.
Yeah, because this is going to be a shit show. Like you know, this is not going to be easy, you know.
Right, he was giving a realistic approach.
Exactly.
And then, like, we can't do... We can't be the Band of the Hawk anymore.
Right, we might be something else, but...
And Judo, I think, was practical enough to say, like,
exactly.
That's what we're going to have to do.
Right. And then it's whoever, and then that way it's also the people that are doing that are doing it because they choose to, of the other people in the Band of the Hawk, you know, because there's a rough road ahead kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And that was really good. And then, of course, having Griffith just watching the entire time and listening.
Yeah, but I really loved the moments of like Casca having that weird moment where Griffith kind of fell on her and was like unable to move, but he was like like I'm trying to reenact it, but he was basically like all his muscles were like taut and he couldn't
what muscles he had.
Yeah. And he looked like he was like trying to either desperately communicate something or desperately like impress some kind of like like some kind of anger or frustration on her. Something. And it was like okay wow.
Yeah.
And I don't really how to interpret it beyond that, but then Casca
just having a good way right now.
Yeah, exactly. But Casca having that just totally realistic emotion of just breaking down and Guts coming in and being like, I'm simple-minded. I ask question, is Griffith okay?
Yeah.
No, he's fine. Everything's fine. I'm like, oh, then why are you crying? I don't know. It's like, oh, is Griffith like? Oh, then something must be wrong with Griffith. Nothing's wrong with Griffith. And they just have this sweet.
Nothing's wrong with Griffith.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you know, everything's okay. But then they had their sweet moment and stuff. And
yeah. Oh yeah.
This is something where Casca bringing back up the fact that if Guts wants to be a true friend to Griffith, as per Griffith's words back at the fountain, he needs to go after his own dream now.
Yep.
And the thing is that I really feel like that ties in well with the tease line that Griffith gave of
I
won't be able to you.
Yep.
And
Oh,
I feel
totally.
I feel like the twisted side of me senses that there will be no explanation as to what he was going to
leave
say.
it up in the air. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I feel like right about now, the only thing that's going to happen that's like definite in the next episode is that Guts will be standing 2 feet from Griffith, swinging his sword like a madman, trying to keep anything that's living that's not him and Griffith away. And I'm scared, guys.
And title.
He's going to go berserk.
Right.
Like I want to see Guts. They've been doing this thing off and on where Guts will go berserk, basically. But they'll try to draw...
They'll make it more animalistic in how he appears. And
I don't know why that is, but I just gotta say, now that we have dark magic on this scale... Who knows if I'm supposed to take that actually literally?
Right, it might just be him leveling up as a barbarian, and it's like, okay, in a situation like this...
rage?
It's like, all right, please do that, because that might be the only thing that can get us out of this. Like,
I just wonder in this coming episode if Guts just goes crazy here. I'm actually really worried about him in some way being affected by the probable negative dark magic energy that's going to be in this whole environment, and it actually changing him. And remember, we still have to deal with this at some point.
That's true. Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is that he's going to, in the same way that Griffith is going to be sacrificed probably, Guts is probably going to maybe sacrifice a little bit of his humanity in this whole process, and it's not going to be something that was maybe fully his choice, because again, free will, fate, and all that. It's going to be something more like aggressed upon him, and he'll basically just go kicking and screaming, and that's how he'll live. But
because he's very good at that.
Because he's very good at not dying, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I hope there's no Deus Ex Machina, I don't think this is the kind of show to do that, but there's no Deus Ex Machina stuff on the good guys' side, because remember when that fairy showed up and I was like, a fairy?
Oh, yeah.
What the heck? And then the thing just I'm just watching, and I was like, okay, that fairy.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of
fairy.
times in fantasy stories and stuff, that's the thing that gets you about fairies, is that they're not particularly malevolent. They just don't care. And a lot of times they will just...
Well, they're more mischievous generally in folklore and stuff. They're neutral. They're on the neutral scale of things, and they make maybe some stories they're lawful neutral, and some they're chaotic neutral, and some they just IDGAF, and they're just true neutral in the middle.
So
anything in this episode that you feel like is really good discussion potential
absolutely
we're not tapping into right now.
Absolutely. So first the bit, and this is a little bit out of order, given everything, but the fact that Corcus was basically the one to voice all their fears and opinions and doubts and everything about, and disbelief about the fact that this can't be it, right? Just that whole scene where the dude showed what Griffith was looked like and everything, how he had been mutilated. That was rough. That was rough. And it's one of those things where, of course, you cheer when Guts runs up and shish kebabs him.
I've had enough of your exposition. Shut up and die.
Right. Well, and you didn't need to show that to my family, kind of a thing. Because then, of course, the whole fact that Guts was like, this is what I've been searching for all along. This is my family and everything. That was
really good.
That was. Because
I do feel like that's though the kind of line that Berserk is kind of oh, look at this sweet line that Guts is going to give, and everything goes wrong. It would be the perfect simple way to show why Guts is going to be so haunted, is that he came maybe this close to having a little bit of hope, after going through so much just hardship and
Right.
stuff. And then the world opened up and, the sky turned blood red and
It's like it's
the
one of those-
apocalypse happened, basically. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, Guts, like, you just can't get a good day, can you?
It's like one of those things where if this was a tabletop RPG, right, and everything that had been happening up to this point had basically been what had been happening in the show, right?
Sure.
And Guts is like, one of the players, he'd just flip the table and be like, screw you, DM. Like, must you always do this?
Yeah, this DM sucks. Like, This DM. Okay. But here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think though that there's a lot of ways that this can go wrong, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the main thing that to keep in mind here is that Griffith's at this point, he is basically kind of I wouldn't say an open vessel, in that whatever comes into his environment next with the most influence will kind of win
Be
him
on a blank
over.
slate kind of a thing.
Yeah,
It's not that-
exactly.
'cause it's not that.
It's not that. And that's where I would be the most worried if his sanity truly broke. But he's thinking.
Right.
He's in there.
He's just reduced his world down.
Right.
Like,
So I feel like the thing that can still go right is that they basically just like make somewhat of a hollow promise to Griffith that we'll save you, basically. And the thing with that is that I don't think that's going to be possible. But like Guts might, how they're saying, like, you don't have any obligation, you're not one of us and things. I think that this is going to be Guts's final obligation, is to end Griffith's suffering and kill him. Now
yeah. So,
every time I think about like Griffith and Guts, I'm like, yep, they're here, they're diametrically opposed. Things are going to be crazy.
Yep.
But I still come back to this just terrifying notion that there's Casca just kind of floating somewhere in the middle, and you have no idea what's going to happen to her.
Yep.
I really hope that if she dies, that basically she just dies, and it's the biggest sucker punch to the gut, and I'm not going to be ready for it. But I feel like that would be I feel like that would be I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Like,
so
I don't feel like I can properly predict anything more than what is basically just obvious based on episode 1. Like, I don't really have anything.
Okay, so just back to because this is probably definitely my favorite episode of Berserk.
This one,
Yeah.
more so than whatever's coming.
Yeah, I mean it's fantastic, but
So it's peaked here?
No, not from that standpoint. But that basically the amount of raw emotion that is shown in this episode is insane. Like with the whole thing with Corcus, he was the scumbag. He's the one that we hated, right?
Well, we knew that he owed everything to Griffith. He believed, he believed the most, and he also had the most doubting kind of personality of them all. So for him to be a true believer,
exactly,
it's a good contradiction.
Why it makes it so good to see him here, where he's like, no, this was something I believed in. We were invincible. What's going on? Or Griffith was invincible, and we could all follow him, and we don't, everything would all turn out okay. What's going on here? Like that was just wonderful. That was amazing. Yeah. And then the whole bit of the different conversations that Casca and Guts had with Griffith nearby, like the whole thing of the if you're Griffith's true friend, you'll leave kind of a thing, like.
And he's like, no, I'll stay.
Right, I'll stay, because when you think about that whole conversation, the true friend, Griffith was talking about someone that he could see as being an equal, right?
Oh, okay.
And so
Yeah.
Now you will not be Griffith's true friend. That goes into the whole idea of not being equals. Now, the thing is that in this situation, because it's not that he's staying to be subservient to Griffith and to help Griffith achieve his dreams, he's staying to protect Griffith, take care of Griffith, make sure that nothing bad happens to Griffith.
Right, and so it's basically diminishing Griffith?
Well, kind of. Like, that's one of those things that I wonder if, like, that was an intent kind of a thing, because just from the standpoint of, like, Griffith looking up at his past perfect self and all that,
right,
you can tell that there's some identity issues,
just
I think,
bit.
that Griffith's going through just a little bit, which totally makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that basically all the people nearby are responding in probably the way that they should respond, right? Because Griffith is in a bad way right now. You know, he needs help and all that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it sound any better to Griffith, because it's basically the people closest to him in a way confirming, yeah, you're in a bad way right now. And, you know, for people that are particularly proud, that can, you know, hurt even more. Right?
Because Griffith is proud. I forgot about that. That's one of the things that I remember having be kind of a discussion point a few episodes ago. I think it was when Guts defeated Griffith with one sword slash, basically. Is that Griffith's identity issues that he had kind of pushed down under the surface just came back up in full force, a lot.
Right.
And this is something I don't want to go too deep on, but we as human beings associate our identity with things outside of ourselves. For whatever reason, this is just how we do things.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the person who convinces themselves, basically reckons in their own mind, their identity is attached to something that is not tangible, meaning something like a dream, or something that is not something
outside themselves.
But I'm saying like not even really something outside themselves, something that doesn't even truly exist. Like let me describe kind of what
ideal?
I'm talking about. Yes, exactly. Something that they believe exists by deciding to attach their identity to it.
Okay,
it's a little bit circular logic.
Sure,
but I think that Griffith was invincible because of his own beliefs in the dream, and not only the dream, what the dream was attached to. Now, I think that there's some hoo-dee-ha dark whatever stuff that might have been manipulating things, but the thing about that is that that's what could have made like Griffith probably like the greatest like hero, the greatest like
the kind
savior,
that only comes one in a century, like the dude mentioned.
Exactly. It's the kind of thing that honestly a lot of faiths, cults, religions will like be born out of. Like just one person truly understanding how identity works and attaching it to something that cannot be
that is
destroyed.
Basically.
It's something transcendent. Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing about that is that that's how some like really awesome people have like dramatically like
impacted the world
and stuff. And it's also how some of the most horrible people out there have done just disgusting things. And the thing about that is Griffith sits like perfectly in the middle.
His path strays along the edge of the knife, or whatever.
Yeah, the Galadriel. Galadriel bit about the Fellowship. So now that things are basically coming in this pseudo, I would say, penultimate episode, because it feels like now we're just going to have the two-part
finale kind of a thing.
Well, I actually could see the next episode being the finale, and the next episode maybe bridging the gap a little bit between episode one. But we'll see. There's a lot of format things. It doesn't really matter how they decide to do it, because I'm probably gonna read the manga. I mean, I shouldn't watch Berserk. What is it? The god awful 3D trash. Don't even talk about that.
No. There is no.
Oh, there is no. Oh,
they
okay.
wouldn't.
It's like the Avatar movie.
They wouldn't
be
stupid enough to make a fully 3D Berserk series. That'd just be silly, right?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
No.
So.
So. I
am back. I am in just the slightest bit of denial in that, like, not everything's gonna go wrong. Just like 95% of everything's gonna go wrong.
Gotcha.
But it's gonna be bad, and I am like, ooh, okay,
Steel myself.
But yeah, I think we're good, Jacob.
No.
Anything you want me to discuss?
No, we're not even close.
Oh, we're not?
No. Okay, so one, all right, long time ago, back when there was the episode where it showed Griffith in the river, and there was that scene in the river, right?
Right. And he's like tearing his arms.
Yeah. And then what was it? A bit later when he started to start having some trouble and things like that. It might have been when Guts left. I'm not sure. But you were like, what Griffith needs is he needs another scene. He needs another river scene.
No way.
You said it. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Like.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So there's that. I just had to bring that up.
Oh my god.
Because
wow.
reasons.
Okay, and anything else that
yes
we need to discuss?
So that part where Griffith is, the whole part where he's in the river, right?
Yeah.
From how it's presented with the art and everything, everything that Griffith's voice actor does, and just all of that is so good. Because from the one point, like you said, it can go either ways from here. There's that whole feeling of ominous buildup and stuff is very much coming to a head, or thousands of them here.
Well done.
But the fact that they were able to set up a character so well that is not the main character, right? Okay, think about this for a second.
Yeah.
Guts is the main character of Berserk, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And he is in a supporting role here.
Griffith is a main character.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You got the core three.
Yeah, that's true.
The fact that they were able to do this is just absolutely ridiculous. And
you mean that the build-up leading to this was done this well?
This well, exactly. Because when I think about this episode, is almost just pure emotionally charged crazy, right?
Well,
basically, and that means that they've done an amazing job setting up the characters, even down to characters like Corcus that are kind of just a caricature that's sort of just been there.
Rest in peace, Pippin development though.
Yeah. We got to see him smash that one guard.
He was the one character that I was like, oh, this guy is a big teddy bear when he grabs Guts to bring him down to the campfire. Yeah. And Guts freaking headbutted him or something.
Or no, he elbowed him in the nose.
In the nose, and he's just a little bit of blood comes out. He's like, don't be shy.
Yeah.
And it was oh, this guy, guy, I want to get some development. No. No. He's probably just gonna die in the next episode or so.
But and again, that whole dynamic between Guts and Griffith, with where it started to how it is now, right? The fact that Guts is essentially the leader of the Mandahawk. The whole fact that everyone basically came to him and say, "Hey, we want you to lead us." One, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Oh no.
Two,
no.
The fact that
I just realized something. You saying that reminded me of something.
What?
Oh. Okay,
what?
Well, here's the thing. When they said, we've all made up our minds. We're going to stick with you. What did I say Guts was going to be doing in the next episode?
Killing everything in a 20-foot radius.
Just killing everything in a 20-foot radius.
Other than Griffith.
They won't be able to be with him. So they're going to be completely lost now. And do you know what this episode is called?
Eve of the Feast.
Yeah. Who do you think's getting feasted on? Everyone without a name? Everyone without a name. Literally, I think most everyone without a name is going to be brutalized. This is going to be bad. And the thing is that I had this weird hope that okay, Judo's gonna take a group of 4 and he's gonna be guys, I have the weirdest bad juju not want feeling right now. We understand that Griffith is gone. We need to go.
Yeah.
And he takes a few people and he books out of there. And he's like the only one like of the like Band of the Hawk named characters that survives.
Because like he said, he's like, he doesn't have a conscience or Casca does.
But I could see someone like Corcus, for instance, just like collapsing and being like we need at least one person to break, and it's not Guts or Casca and stuff,
or Griffith, because he's already broken.
Well, Griffith's already broken.
Yeah.
But then having like Pippin be the one that like takes out a whole ton of them. But this is called the Eve of the Feast. The feast part is going to happen. That's not stopping.
Yeah. And okay. And now that this has happened,
I just realized why you want the discussion to keep going. Because this has been a half blind all this time, you're now ready to cut loose. Like you're like
more or less. And
I'm just like, this is painful. Like
the Behelit, right? We are all familiar with Lord of the Rings and the One Ring and all that stuff, and the MacGuffin of doohickey of evil and bad juju, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the Behelit like has got to take the cake. Like I have never seen something that was
more
basically
than the One Ring.
More than the One Ring, because the thing is the One Ring, it's like, okay, it's evil. Yeah, Frodo, don't put on the ring. Bilbo, put on the ring. You're far away from Mountain Doom.
I think the main reason is that because this is a visual primary mode of storytelling, there's way less being told essentially to us about the Behelit.
Maybe.
So I get that it has that air of mystery around it.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is definitely one of those things where I would think like, okay, how would I actually convey this in like a book?
Yeah, it's almost impossible, but like, the books of Lord of the Rings do a really good job
of
conveying
a fantastic
what you will
job
of a dark overlord being communicating to this little that's like just some classic horror level stuff.
Not to take away from the One Ring because it's fantastic, but the fact
that you prefer the Behelit.
I prefer the Behelit because of the mystery around it. We don't know really much about the Behelit, right?
Sure.
But
we have a wizard basically telling us exactly what the One Ring is. So.
Exactly, right. So whereas with the One Ring, it's like, okay, this is very dangerous. Hold it with like a pair of tongs, and just and
chuck it in the nearest river, right? Right? That should work. That should work.
Well, that's one of the other things. So I don't know, but I get the feeling that Miura, the person who the mangaka for Berserk, was very much inspired by Lord of the Rings because he literally has the doohickey of badness come to the person in a river, just like it did with Gollum,
Yeah.
So there's
that. It's fantasy, and Lord of the Rings is the fantasy.
Right, it's
story.
the fantasy. Yeah,
so I'm sure that there was a little bit of of inspiration, but no, this is a completely
also,
thematically
around,
different. Yeah. But there's a completely thematically different.
Oh yes.
Air to Berserk than there is to Lord of the Rings.
Absolutely.
I gotta say though, guys, that this is my final thing, and I'm basically done. I'm done with the discussion. I'm tired. Like this is a rough episode. Is that I really love fantasy stories. Like I can't get enough of them, and I feel so satisfied right now and so horrified at the same time that I don't think I've ever experienced this with a fantasy story, where I am so just elated that it's this good, and I'm so horrified that we're not done yet with the bad,
right. It's one of those things where if you were going along with this, episode by episode, like when it was coming out and stuff, you'd probably be shouting, "Just make everything be okay!" Like
that was me, a couple episodes ago.
Yeah,
I was just like, I just
right?
want Guts and Casca to be happy.
Right. But then
I've almost given up on Griffith at this point. Like I don't know how. I feel like the whole series. If I can, I'm gonna try and tap into the beyond. This story is going to end obviously with a conversation between Griffith and Guts. It doesn't matter what the context is, whether there's any kind of
it'll be kind of hard for Griffith to have a conversation.
But that's my point. It's not that it's necessarily a conversation, but it's basically an understanding. The whole thing about Guts and Griffith, all this time, the thing that made this all just go so wrong was basically what makes any relationship go wrong is communication.
Yeah.
And until they basically have that, until they basically have some way of understanding each other truly, the story cannot end.
Yeah.
And I think that the story overall has been telling us over and over again that it's going to be darker at some point.
Right.
So it doesn't have to end in a happy resolution of communication. But I like at the very least, like, you know how Guts was haunted by visions and things like that. I think it's basically just he has PTSD from whatever's about to go down here.
Sure.
It's not gonna be maybe literal like haunting, but I think that like when we finally like get caught up to wherever the first episode is, Griffith is going to be like one of those like I don't know if you've ever seen any of those stories where you can see the person and they're like wreathed in like a possessed darkness, where like there's things that have their claws, like, I don't know if there's a visual way to describe this, but things that have their claws like inside the mind and it's basically going to be a thing of like Griffith will not be able to like actually speak, but there will be a thing like possessing him or whatever, and it'll be forcing out words to where they can actually speak. And that's why I think Guts and Griffith will have a conversation by the end of it. But it's more going to be, can I still reach Griffith's soul? Can I speak to Griffith? Like actual Griffith, go to the deep to that part where he was imagining his childhood, you know, the dream and, you know, the night essentially. Or is it going to be just this sad thing of like, I tried, so I had to kill him? And, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my thing. Sure. I'm done.
So the other thing is that when Griffith was like saw Guts like approaching, you know, in the wagon, and he's like, no, don't. If you lay even a hand, you know, like on me or, you know, or whatever. One, I love that whole bit. But that was also in Griffith's head.
Oh,
he's not actually able to talk.
I know that.
So the fact that there was a blank space there.
What do you mean?
That he didn't finish the sentence, like the sentence was broken
up.
So
he doesn't know.
Yeah. There's just a whole lot of a tumultuous emotion going on.
Right, and that's why I was saying that Griffith is a blank slate, and he's not in that.
There's a lot of stuff there.
Right. Whoever comes in with the strongest like
ability
will
to form
influence,
the emotion,
and to coalesce it into something, will like either save or destroy Griffith.
Right.
And I like that it's that binary. Like literally madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
One bad day. Yeah. Yeah, or like you said so nicely leading up to it, I had wanted to say this. I don't think I ever did. Thankfully, you said it for me. But when we reach our lowest point, we are open to the greatest change.
Holy crap! Yep. This is it. This is it. Like I feel like that it's going to be both. Like we can't have it. We can't have it end happily, and while the bad will be there, I feel like whatever ends up happening to Griffith will be there somewhat, and or even if he's not, even if there's no evidence of it there, that's going to be maybe the only thing that like we'll be able to hold on as viewers, is basically like, oh, it's kind of the thought of like, when the One Ring essentially takes over a person, you know, the will is too strong and it dominates their mind and stuff. You know, the person is still there. You need to basically sever the connection of the influencee on the influencer. But anyway,
by biting their finger off or something else.
Guys, I'm really tired. Like this like tore a lot out of me, and I feel like I'm holding it together okay, but you keep dragging on the discussion.
Yeah. So here's the other thing. The beginning part, the whole, not the beginning like the first episode, but the whole intro bit, right? This is one of the best examples, I would say, where basically they took the themes of the story. Yeah. Okay, in this world is mankind, you know, whatever, all that stuff. Fate versus free will. They took it and they made it concrete, and they communicated it to the audience, not just once, but over and over. They reminded us of it so that way we know this is what the story's about, right? It's very clear.
Yeah.
Because of that, there was always this sense of direction, so that when the story would do things, not only did the audience know where it was supposed to go, but the creator obviously knew where it was supposed to go. One of the things that can be very unfortunate that happens in a lot of stories, especially the longer and longer they go on, is that basically the creator will lose sight of what the story was about, right? It stops being a basically complete whole, and it ends up being a bunch of other things that can still be good.
Sure.
And then they're basically threaded together, right?
Right.
But like the way this was all set up with Berserk and everything, with that ominous bit at the beginning, just communicates this sense of completeness and like
I knew you were going to say completeness. That's so cool.
Oneness almost to the story, so that when things like this happen, right? You know, as crazy as they can be and all that stuff, we know that this is always what the show was, or what the story was meant to go into, right? It's what it was always meant to explore. And of course, it had been set up perfectly with all the other things that, you know, came before, and so it just works. So
it's
well.
So good. We need to call it here.
Anyways,
I love this. I love this show, but like just thinking about like what's coming up like next is making my head hurt. So like, guys, if you want to watch the next episode's reaction, which I'm sure they do, you go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all of this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us, non-spoilery, of course, about Berserk, about stories in general, or whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.